I've worked with hard men, frightened men, stubborn men, and men who thought they had plenty of time. And if you are over 60, living alone, or often by yourself for long stretches, I need you to hear me clearly. When heart attack symptoms start, hesitation is deadly. Chest pressure, pain in the arms, back, neck, jaw, or stomach, shortness of breath, cold sweat, nausea, or lightheadedness are all signs you should treat as an emergency and call 911 right away. Emergency teams can begin treatment on the way and alert the hospital before you arrive, which is one reason medical organizations tell people not to drive themselves unless there is absolutely no other option. I spent 20 years as a Navy SEAL, and for a long time I believed that when something went wrong, toughness was the answer. Push through it. Override it. Tell yourself you're fine and keep moving. That mindset can get a man into serious trouble here. A heart attack is not a test of grit. It is a race against time. The first thing I want burned into your memory is this. Do not wait to see if it passes. Do not talk yourself into indigestion. Do not tidy the house. Do not finish what you were doing. Pick up the phone and call emergency services immediately. The American Heart Association and Mayo Clinic both say the same thing. Call first, because every minute without blood flow means more heart muscle at risk. And I want to make this personal, because that is how you will remember it. If pressure hits your chest and something feels wrong in a deep, unmistakable way, I want you to say out loud, "I may be having a heart attack. I am calling now." That sentence matters. It cuts through denial. It puts you into action. When people get into trouble, it is often not because no help exists. It is because they lose 5 minutes arguing with reality. At your age, that is too expensive. Call. Get the dispatcher on the line. Put the phone on speaker if you need to. Follow instructions. Let the professionals take over the thinking so you can focus on doing the next right thing. The second move is aspirin, but only the right way. This is where people get sloppy, and I do not want sloppy when we are talking about your heart. Current guidance is very clear that aspirin can help in a suspected heart attack, but you should call 911 first, and take it only if a dispatcher or healthcare professional tells you to, or if your own clinician has previously instructed you to do this for suspected heart attack symptoms. A regular strength aspirin is typically chewed, not just swallowed whole, because chewing gets it working faster. But if you are allergic to aspirin, have a bleeding disorder, take certain blood thinners, or have been told not to take it, you should not take it. This is not guesswork. This is follow the plan medicine. The third move is to stop what you are doing and put your body in the easiest position to support breathing and reduce strain. I do not want you pacing. I do not want you walking circles. I do not want you trying to shake it off. Sit down with your back supported, ideally upright rather than flat, and loosen anything tight around your chest, waist, or neck. That upright position can make breathing easier, and staying still reduces the heart's workload when blood flow is already compromised. Think of it this way. Your heart is an engine under stress. You do not rev an engine that is already running on fumes. You reduce demand. You simplify. You give the body the calmest setup possible while help is on the way. The fourth move is one almost nobody thinks about until it is too late. Make it easy for help to reach you. Unlock the front door. Turn on a porch light if it is dark and the switch is nearby. Keep the phone next to you. Stay where paramedics can get to you fast, preferably near the entrance if you can do that without exerting yourself. This sounds small, but emergencies are won and lost on small delays. If you are alone and your door is locked and your phone is across the room and you collapse, you have created barriers between you and the people trying to save your life. Remove those barriers early, while you still can. That is not panic. That is smart preparation under pressure. The fifth move is for people who have their own prescribed heart medication. If you have nitroglycerin because your doctor prescribed it for angina or chest pain, take it exactly as you were instructed while you wait for emergency help. Not your spouse's nitroglycerin, not something a neighbor hands you. Your prescription, your instructions. Nitroglycerin can help relieve chest pain by widening blood vessels, but it needs to be used correctly, and it can interact dangerously with certain drugs, including some erectile dysfunction medications. That is why I do not want freelancing here. If your doctor gave you a plan, follow your plan. If not, do not invent one in the middle of a crisis. Now let's talk about your breathing, because this is where fear often starts driving the car. When chest symptoms hit, people panic, and panic makes the heart's job harder. Stress hormones surge, heart rate rises, blood pressure can climb. You start breathing high and shallow, and the whole system gets more chaotic. What I want instead is slow, deliberate breathing. In through the nose if you can, and out longer than you inhale. Do not force giant breaths. Do not gasp. Just steady yourself. Controlled breathing helps reduce the fight or flight response and supports oxygen delivery while you wait for medical care. It does not cure the heart attack, but it can help keep you from pouring fuel on the fire. And while we are here, let me clear out one dangerous myth. You may have heard dramatic advice online about coughing your way through a heart attack. That is not something the American Heart Association recommends lay people rely on, and it should never take priority over calling 911, staying still, and following dispatcher instructions. The internet is full of half-true emergency folklore. In real life, you do not need folklore. You need the steps with evidence behind them. Call, sit, stay still, breathe, follow instructions. Use aspirin or nitroglycerin only when appropriate. That is the lane I want you in. The most important rule of all is the one that sounds easiest and is often hardest in the moment. Stay as calm and as still as possible. Do less, not more. Do not decide this is the moment to drive yourself. Medical guidance is consistent on that point. Ambulance crews can start care on the way, monitor you, and get the hospital ready. A person driving during a heart attack puts themselves and everyone else on the road at risk. So once you have called, once you have unlocked the door, once you have taken the right medication if instructed or prescribed, your job becomes very simple. Stay put. Save energy. Keep breathing. Answer the dispatcher. Let help come to you. I want you to imagine that moment clearly, because imagination becomes preparation. You are at home. Maybe you were watching television. Maybe you were putting something away in the kitchen. Maybe you were in the garage or in the yard or halfway through an ordinary day that did not feel dangerous at all. Then you feel it. The pressure, the squeezing, the nausea, the cold sweat. Maybe the pain is not even dramatic. Heart attack symptoms can vary, and some people have only discomfort, not the movie version of crushing chest pain. That is why you do not wait for perfect certainty. If it feels wrong and it matches the warning signs, act first and let the hospital sort out the diagnosis. This is where men often sabotage themselves. They do not want to overreact. They do not want to embarrass themselves. They do not want to bother anybody. Listen to me carefully. I would rather have you overreact to indigestion than underreact to a heart attack. I would rather you call and be told it was not a heart attack than sit quietly and lose precious heart muscle because pride got involved. Pride has no place in emergency medicine. Action does. If something is seriously wrong, the call is not weakness. It is judgment. It is discipline. It is what a responsible adult does. And I want one more layer of preparedness from you. Not in the moment, but before the moment ever comes. Keep an aspirin supply at home only if your clinician says it is appropriate for you in an emergency. Know where it is. Keep your phone charged and within reach, especially if you live alone. If you have prescribed nitroglycerin, know exactly how your doctor told you to use it. If your house is hard to access, think about that now, not during chest pain. A crisis plan is not pessimism, it is maturity. The strongest men I knew in the teams were not the ones who winged it. They were the ones who rehearsed simple actions until those actions became automatic under stress. So let's lock the sequence in one last time. Symptoms start. Call 911 immediately. Do not drive yourself if there is any other option. Sit upright with support and stop exerting yourself. Unlock the door and keep the phone on speaker beside you. Take aspirin only if a dispatcher or clinician has advised it and it is safe for you. Take nitroglycerin only if it was prescribed to you and use it exactly as directed. Breathe slowly. Stay still. Stay calm. Those are not dramatic steps, but they are the ones most likely to buy you time and protect heart muscle while help is coming. I know this is a heavy subject. Good. Some subjects should feel heavy, because that is how they stick. I am not telling you this to scare you. I am telling you this because knowledge changes outcomes. A heart attack does not always give you a second chance to think things through. That is why you think it through now. That is why you rehearse now. If the day ever comes, your goal is not to be brave. Your goal is to be immediate, simple, and correct. So I want you to do one thing after this. Not tomorrow. Today. Decide what you will do if chest pressure, shortness of breath, cold sweat, nausea, lightheadedness, or pain in the jaw, arm, back, neck, or stomach suddenly hits while you are alone. Picture yourself making the call. Picture yourself unlocking the door. Picture yourself sitting down, staying still, breathing slowly, and following instructions. Because in a crisis, people do not rise to the level of their intentions. They fall to the level of their preparation. And at this age, preparation is not fear, it is wisdom. Knowledge is power, but only if you act on it fast enough.